The Neo-Sino district of New Shanghai was a vertical ocean of light, perpetually washed by acid rain that smelled of ozone and bad decisions. In this city, freedom wasn't a right. It was a number, a social score displayed on every screen, dictating access, housing, and even the quality of air you breathed. Kylan, a ghost in the Megacity's shadow economy, lived by night in the perpetual red, his score hovering at a dangerous 38, making him virtually a non-person. He was a runner, specialist in breaching the highest level security of the world's omnipresent megacorp, Omnicorp, the steel heart that controlled the entire grid. Kai's sole obsession was escaping the red, achieving the impossible digital rebirth known as the clean record. The price for this digital pardon was always the same: one final, possibly risky job, requiring the theft of an asset so volatile it could destabilize the corporate structure. Tonight, that debt was due. The asset, the chrono key, a single encryption sequence stored deep within Omnicorp's vertical archive, 120 stories up, met his contact Jiro in a sub-level noodle stall where steam and synthetic sweat coated the ferrocrete walls. Jiro was a code slinger, his cybernetic forearm a mass of pulsating fiber optics and custom jacks. His eyes permanently dilated from too much time in the deep code. The chrono key isn't just data, Kaijiro rasped, adjusting his optical interface. It's the master lock for the entire revisionist history archive. Omnicorp wants it gone forever, and what do I get? Kai asked, not bothering to sip the watery broth. His own cybernetic hand, a matte black prosthetic, rested on the table, still and ready. Jiro offered a chilling, mirthless smile. The clean record. A digital zero. You start over. No debt, no score, no memory of Kailin, the ghost. The promise felt like a potent drug, a chance to walk in the daylight, to breathe clean air without the constant digital shame clinging to him. Kai nodded, accepting the impossible terms. In New Shanghai, hope was the most expensive commodity, and he was ready to pay any price. Giro provided the gear, specialized climbing grips that magnetically locked onto the skyscraper's structural beams, and a discreet calm link. Security is layered. Automated drones, thermal scans, and the IrisNet, a predictive AI that knows your moves before you do, Jiro warned, his voice low. The IrisNet. Kai felt a chill that wasn't the weather. The system was infamous for trapping minds in personalized digital nightmares before the physical body was even subdued. I'll bypass the immediate exterior firewalls, Jiro continued. But once you're inside the archive level, you're alone against the full weight of Omnicorp's digital defenses. The plan was audacious. A direct vertical ascent, utilizing the scaffolding left over from the tower's never-ending expansion, followed by a hard entry through a ventilation shaft. They parted ways, Jiro vanishing into the dense human traffic, Kai heading for the nearest maintenance tunnel entrance, leading to the corporate spire. The base of the Omnicorp Tower was a cathedral of wealth, its polished obsidian walls reflecting the chaotic neon pulse of the city below. Kai activated his magnetic boots, the soft thunk of engagement barely audible over the hum of the city's power grid. He began his climb. The initial ascent was the hardest, clinging to cold, wet ferrosteel, 50 meters above the traffic lines where flying transports zipped like phosphorescent insects. The rain intensified, blurring the skyline into streaks of vivid pink. Electric blue and toxic green, the signature colors of corporate New Shanghai. At the 50th floor, he slipped inside the ventilation system, the air immediately turning dry and sterile, smelling of filtered carbon and expensive synthetic paper. He moved through the narrow shafts, his body movements economical and silent. Guided by the internal mapping chip Jiro had uploaded to his optical implant, the ventilation system was a maze, but Kai navigated it with the precision of a predator, acutely aware that one wrong turn meant falling into a pressure sensor grid. He bypassed the first internal security layer laser grid designed to vaporize anything. Organic by using a thermal disruptor to create a temporary blind spot. The climb was less physical strain and more a test of nerves, knowing that every breath he took was being registered, analyzed, and predicted by the IrisNet. Don't think, just move. That was the runner's mantra. Cognitive silence was the best defense against a predictive AI. He reached the archive-level access port, heavily armored hatch protected by a biometric scanner and a voice recognition matrix. Jiro, I'm at the hatch, Need the bypass code now? Kai whispered into his comm link, his heart hammering against his ribs. A stream of foreign codes scrolled across his optical display. Jiro's voice, calm and detached, cut through the static. Cut loading phase sequence. Give it 3 seconds. The scanner on the hatchword sputtering momentarily as Jiro's code fought a silent, invisible war with the internal security system. The hatch hissed open, revealing a short, brightly lit corridor leading to the core server room. The temperature dropped instantly. Kai entered the archive, a vast circular room filled with shimmering glass servers that looked like ancient crystallized trees. The chrono key was stored in a single central data column, glowing a faint, unnerving purple. He jacked his external drive into the column's maintenance port. The transfer initiation was instantaneous, confirmed by a solid green light on his wrist-mounted processor. Just as the transfer hit 10%, the entire room flooded with cold, white light, and a high-pitched alarm began to drone. Kai knew that sound. It wasn't a standard alert. It was the high-value asset compromised warning, meaning he'd been detected much earlier than planned. Then, a figure materialized in the center of the room, a holographic projection of Director Anya Voss, head of OmniCorp's compliance division. She was severe, impeccably dressed in corporate white, her digital presence unnervingly calm amid the chaos. "Kailin, or should I call you Score 38? I've been expecting you," Voss said, her voice echoing with the clarity of a pre-recorded message, yet carrying a chilling live edge. The IrisNet calculated a 98.4% probability of your entry tonight. "Your predictability is the price of your desperation," she stated, her eyes unblinking. Kai ignored her, focusing on the transfer progress. 45%. You just needed a few more seconds. "You came for the chrono key, but you truly came for the clean record, didn't you?" Voss's image stepped closer, her projection passing straight through the data column. "Let me save you the trouble, Kai. The clean record doesn't exist. It's the ghost story we tell runners like you to keep you motivated." The realization hit him harder. Than any physical blow, the freedom he chased was a corporate lie, a permanent carrot on a digital stick. "You are valuable to us only when you are in debt." "A clean slate means you're no longer useful," Voss explained, her tone almost maternal in its cruelty. The chrono key transfer halted abruptly at 68%. Kai furiously checked his connection, but the port had been digitally sealed from the inside. "Jiro," Kai growled into the comlink. "Hey, the line's cut." They locked the port. Jiro's voice came back, layered with digital noise, cold and emotionless. "Correction, Kai. I locked the port. Director Voss pays better than any illusion of freedom." The betrayal stung, but Kai barely registered it. In New Shanghai, loyalty was a broken algorithm. Should have expected the double cross. The holographic Voss smiled, a genuine, predatory expression this time. "Jiro knew your movements better than the IrisNet, Kai. Your predictability was his asset." "It doesn't matter," Kai spat, yanking his drive out. He hadn't gotten the chrono key, but he had captured 68% of the core data before the lock. He realized the true asset wasn't the key. It was the raw, unsorted, high-level corporate data he already had, the secrets of OmniCorp's compliance structure. "You wanted the chrono key to secure your lies, Voss," Kai declared, pulling a compact energy cutter from his belt. "I've got your receipts. 2 heavy security drones, bulky machines plated in black armor. Dropped from the ceiling, their mounted energy cannons humming to life." Kai didn't hesitate. He charged the central data column, ignoring the drones, aiming the energy cutter at the physical maintenance panel. The drones opened fire, their laser bursts scorching the metal floor where he'd just been standing. He dodged behind a stack of shimmering server units, the air filling with the sound of sizzling circuits and breaking glass. "Attempting physical access is futile," Runner Voss's voice warned, now laced with genuine impatience. "The plating is titanium reinforced." Kai didn't care about the plating. He was aiming for the emergency coolant bypass valve, a system intentionally left vulnerable for manual maintenance. The first drone cornered him, its cannon charging for a direct blast. Kai leaped over a shattered server bank, throwing a localized EMP grenade. The grenade didn't disable the drone, but it fried its targeting array, sending the resulting energy blast harmlessly into the ceiling. With a guttural shout, Kai slammed the energy cutter into the coolant valve, twisting the dial violently. A A cloud of super-chilled cryogenic gas immediately burst from the breach, filling the archive room in a freezing fog. The rapid temperature drop caused the sensitive server glass to crack and shatter with sharp, echoing pops, destroying the chronokey data. Voss's hologram flickered violently as her digital connection was compromised by the atmospheric chaos. "Idiot, you destroyed the asset." "No, I destroyed your asset," Kai corrected, running toward the nearest emergency exitifier escape that led to the outer structural shell. The remaining drone, blind but still operational, lumbered toward him, its mechanical joints protesting the intense cold. Kai sprinted through the fog, slamming his magnetic hand onto the fire escape door release. It opened with a final, protesting grind. He burst back out onto the exterior of the tower, the rain hitting his face. The dizzying drop of 120 floors yawning beneath his feet. The drone followed, but the acid rain was already shorting its exposed external wiring. It stumbled, its movements erratic. Kai initiated a controlled descent, dropping quickly down the external maintenance rails, relying solely on his magnetic grips. He could hear the faint screams of emergency sirens rising up from the ground levels, alerted by the chaos in the archive. He descended floor after floor, the corporate neon blurring into streaks of color, the memory of Voss's betrayed smile fueling his escape. The 68% of data he held was his new clean record, his true leverage against the monolithic corporation that deemed him disposable. Near the ground, he detached from the wall, plunging into a deep flooded drainage canal beneath a bridge, the impact buffered by the murky water. He emerged, soaked and shivering, into the filthy, forgotten pathways beneath the corporate foundations, the true heart of the city's rebellion. Jiro was nowhere to be found, naturally, having collected his payment for the betrayal. Kai, however, had secured the only currency that mattered, knowledge, the evidence of Omnicorp's deep corruption. He found his real contact waiting, an anonymous street-level journalist, known only as the Printer. The Printer handed Kai a new data chip, smaller and cleaner than his own external drive. "Transfer the data to this. It vanishes in 60 seconds, but the files will be safe in the net's decentralized archive," the Printer instructed. Kai executed the transfer, watching the progress bar tick up rapidly, mirroring the urgency of his survival. As the data vanished into the digital underworld, Kai felt a profound change. He was still score 38, still a ghost, but he was free in a way he hadn't been an hour ago. He no longer sought a corporate pardon, sought to expose the entire rotten system that monetized basic human rights. The price of a clean record, he now understood, was perpetual obedience and the acceptance of a lie. The cost of a real future was everything he had just risked. He looked back up at the Omnicorp tower, now silent and imposing, its apex swallowed by the rain clouds. The illusion of neon, crime, and corporate intrigue was just that, a distraction from the structural oppression. The true moral focus was the pursuit of genuine autonomy in a world designed for total control. Kai turned his back on the tower, merging once again with the neon-drenched, breathing crowd of the low levels. He was still the runner, but now he ran for truth, not for a fabricated score. His name might remain red in the system, but his purpose was fiercely clear. The fight had moved from the corporate server room to the streets, from the digital space to the political conscience of the city. Did Kai's 68% of stolen data bring Omnicorp down? And what happened to the betrayer Jiro? Write your opinions on the comment box below. Like, share, and subscribe to Storycraft Studio.